How's it going, everyone? I am back with another video. This is going to be my Patriots Week 5 recap video, where very happily, considering the result of the game, going to go over the game, give my thoughts, takeaways, all that good stuff. So I'll just dive straight in here. So obviously, very happy with the result. I thought we had a shot to win the game, but I didn't expect us to win. I picked us to lose, but I thought it would be close. What did I had the score prediction as? I think I had the Bills winning. Was it 27-23? So at least I got the 20. Maybe it was. I think I had it at 23, either 23 or 24. And I think it was 23. So at least I got the score prediction for us right at 23. Um, but yeah, I figured that we would lose. It would be tight. It looked like we would have it, and then Josh Allen and company would drive down the field, take the lead, and end up winning. And the Bills would win, but the talk coming out of the game would be the Patriots. They proved themselves to be a really solid team this year that could make some noise potentially, and that's what happened. Except we did even more than I thought by winning the game. Um, I'm surprised that a bit pleasantly surprised that we won the game. Fourth quarter, we were up 10 points. It was 20-10, and I think we got the touchdown. There was like 7 and change left, and I'm like, or actually, no, there was more time than that. I forget exactly how much time, but we went up 10 off a Stevenson touchdown. His second of the game, he had two, even though he had yet another fumble, but that's okay because we won the game. So we went up 10, and then the Bills went down, scored a touchdown, and I'm like, all right, we need to at minimum get a field goal on the board here, or else I'm gonna feel, even if we only get a field goal to go up 6, I'm gonna feel very uneasy. And not only did we not get a field goal, we went 3-and-out. We had a third and inches play, and May converted it on a sneak. And my good old buddy from last year, Mr. Walking Penalty himself, Vidarian Lowe, gets a false start. Why is Vidarian Lowe even on the team? I guess he's a because I guess he's a serviceable backup. I guess not maybe not serviceable, but he's a backup. I guess. B, why is he on the field in that situation? Oh boy. But that's okay because our defense ended up punting after that, and I'm like, yep, we lose the game. We lose the game, and Josh Allen and company. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. So, yep, Josh Allen company drove down the field. I'm like, yep, we're gonna lose the game. Our defense held them to a field goal, and I'm like, holy shit, Drake May can get a game-winning drive here. In the first play of the drive, the Bills send a blitz, which they did all game. They had May under duress the entire game. They just sent the shit out of their blitz packages towards May, and May, like, while it was a ridiculous play by May, like while stiff arming, I forget the exact defender, but he was stiff arming a defender, and he somehow got the pass off to Diggs, who had a monster game in this game. And Diggs ended up getting first down. May also had a nice play to Booty on the sideline that eventually set us up in field goal range. And we had a scenario. It was third down, and the Bills had no timeouts. And we ran like a PA, like halfback flat type of play. And I thought they had May in the backfield again, which would have probably had taken us out of field goal range. I think we might have still attempted it. But I literally was like screaming. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, don't take a sack. And I'm like, go down, go down, go down. Go down gaining yards, I mean. And he got a few yards. Borregales ended up making the kick. I was not too happy with him after the first 2 weeks, even though he did have a clutch kick against the Dolphins week 2. So Borregales ended up drilling another kick, and we ended up winning the game from there. Even with 15 seconds left, I was still paranoid, but we got them down on the kickoff. There's a penalty, and the Bills just ran one play, and we got them down in bounds. I think it was to Josh Palmer, if I remember right, and we ended up winning the game. So like I said, very pleasantly pleased we won this game. I think we're legit. My 11 wins for us is looking better and better, especially these next 4 weeks. We, at minimum, should probably win 3 of the next 4. We play New Orleans, who it's a bit better than expected, but we should win that game. They're coming off a big win against the Giants, though, which is a Patriots fan. It's always nice to see the Giants lose. So they beat the Giants. So we should beat them. Then we play the Titans, should beat them. So that should be 5-2. And then we play the Falcons, which I'm trying to go to that game with my dad potentially. Hopefully we can win that. Actually, no, sorry. We play the Browns and then we play the Falcons. Right? Yeah, we play the Browns and then the Falcons. Um, Cleveland will be tough with their defense, but those at minimum we should win 3 of those 4. I would imagine. Hope ideally all 4 would be nice. We still play the Jets twice, so that should be 2 free wins for us, at least one. The Dolphins we should beat the last week, you imagine. So we really should get to enough wins to at least contend for a playoff spot. I think we'll make the playoffs. I had us in the playoffs as the 7th seed at 11-6 in my preseason predictions. So my 11 wins, I'm feeling a bit better about that prediction. After this, I was going to stick with it regardless if we won or lost this game, and I'm feeling better about it after this game. But yeah, May I thought played really good. The offense in general looked a bit, I don't want to say nervous, but not even shaky, but just not not like the offense we've been used to seeing the past 2 weeks, I guess. And again, even on the Steelers game, we only put up 14 points. We were moving the ball, just got killed by turnovers. May in the second half, I think only had 1 incompletion. So that was insane. Rushing, we need to figure that out. We had no run game. Gibson, unfortunately, tore his ACL. He's out for the year. So I imagine we'll sign someone off a practice squad or bring, a running back that's just on the couch right now, unsigned in. Let's see. Oh yeah, Diggs I mentioned had a big game. He popped off first play. We did a bootleg, gave him the ball. Hunter Henry only had 2 catches, but they were pretty big catches. They were deep throws down the field. Booty only had 3 catches, but he had that big one at the end that I mentioned that set us up down the sideline in field goal range. Then, besides that, a nice balance between the guys there. Josh Allen didn't play. I don't think he played phenomenal out of his mind this game. He had a couple of Josh Allen plays where he's buying time, found the open man, but he didn't play that bad either. The Bills were just. I mean, we were a bit too, but the Bills were just out of sync, kind of just getting in their own way with penalties. They had 2 kind of sloppy fumbles that we took advantage of. And they also had the pick. It was 2nd and 1. They ran like a little bubble screen. I think it was to Knox, not Kincaid. I might be wrong though. I think it was to Dawson Knox, and they got called for a holding. Then the next play, Allen threw a pick. So 2nd 1. You could just have been, more straightforward and just ran up the middle, something like that. Instead of calling the bubble screen, getting a holding there. It looked like they were about to score a touchdown too. They went right down the field their first try of the second half and scored a touchdown to take the lead. And I'm like, and here we go. Now we're trailing. But so did our offense. The only drive we didn't score in the second half was the 3-and-out I mentioned. Besides that, we scored 2 touchdowns and a field goal. So credit to our offense for that. Our rush defense has been really good this season. I saw stats like historically good franchise-wise. We're allowing like under 50 yards a game or something like that. James Cook didn't do too much in this game. Josh Allen was their leading rusher, so that's usually a pretty good sign from a run defense standpoint. Kincaid went off. He's been having a good year so far. Shakir's been pretty solid this year too. They spin the shit out of like bubble screens to him. They did it this game too. And then, per usual, the Bills, the solid balance between the rest of their guys there. Looking at the team stats here. So yeah, they're pretty even. Bills had, they had a bit more total yards, but we outdid them in pass yards a bit. They outdid us in rush yards. Yards per play was exactly 6 per team. The Bills had 4 more first downs. So honestly, the big difference in this game was turnovers. I mentioned Marcus Jones got that pick on Josh Allen, and then one of the Bills' fumbles is right in the end zone. We only ended up scoring a field goal off of it, but still, 3 points in a game like this is big. Penalties, we've been sloppy all year. I really hope we get that cleaned up. That's definitely a critique that we could work on there. But then on the Bills' end, that was just rough penalty wise, and thankfully we were able to take advantage and win the game. But the Bills certainly I think we'll be getting that cleaned up. Um, Total play is pretty close. Third down efficiency, the Bills are pretty good. Um, yeah, that's yeah. Actually, the first fumble the Bills had, literally the next play is the play Stevenson fumbled, so basically got negated like it didn't even happen, pretty much. But they had 3 turnovers, and we only had one, so we won the turnover battle by 2, 3-1, and we, narrowly ended up winning the game there. Time possession, the Bills had it, about 9 minutes, like 9 minutes, yeah, 9 minutes 2 seconds more than we did. So looking at these stats, the Bills probably would have won the game if you take away the Marcus Jones pick and then that I forget who fumbled it, but the fumble like right by the goal line, or not by the goal line, the end zone more. So yeah, the end zone I would say. There was a sequence. Some Pats fans are criticizing it. The end of the first half, we got a PI call and we were like first and goal at the 1 with 4 seconds left, and we line up to well, not go for it because it's only first down, but the safe thing would have been to kick field goal, but we line up, we snap it to get a really quick playoff, and Hunter Henry should have had it. He was open on the play, but he just didn't turn around. I don't think he was expecting the ball that soon, and we ended up kicking a field goal the second left. And some people are saying we should have gone for it. I would have been fine either way, but I think Vrabel's mindset was, all right, well, we are going to take the field goal anyway, and we kind of got a bit lucky with not that that wasn't the correct call. I think the PI was the correct call, but you kind of get a bit lucky that the Bills committed pass interference. So let's just take our points while we have them. At that point, it was only 3-3. So let's just take the points while we have them. Go up 6-3 at the half. You can go into the half saying we're leading. Bit of a morale boost compared to, let's say we went for it and didn't get it. We would have gone into half. Oh, well, we just blew the opportunity. Now the Bills are, going to be, taking advantage. They get the morale momentum boost off that. But maybe if we had gone for it and gotten it, obviously we would have been up 10-7, assuming Borregales, or 10-3, assuming Borregales makes the extra point. But I was okay with it. I like to be pretty aggressive. Like I like to go when teams punt on fourth down. I'm like, well, if it was me, I'm the head coach there, I would go for it. I say that a lot, but I probably would have gone for it. But I was honestly okay with it. And then yeah, the second half you kind of figured that the Bills would get the offense going. They'd minimize the mistakes, and they did that. But our offense clicked too, and we ended up winning the game. So yeah, I'm very as I keep saying here, very pleasantly pleased with the results of this game. Our biggest win in, oh boy, honestly maybe since we beat them Monday night in Buffalo in the 21 season. That was in the wind game with Mac Jones throwing 3 passes. That was a big game feel. Um, yeah, 23 we were a disaster. 24 we were a disaster. Although we beat Cincy week 1, but I think we still probably all knew that we were going to be a bad team. That was after that. That was just an upset. Then 22 we were mid. We went 8-9, but we didn't really have a signature win like this that season. So honestly, I think this is the biggest win since the 2021 season. So nearly 4 years to the day, because I think we played them week 14, so a little less than 4 calendar years. But yeah, this was a big win for us. Now, one slight thing I'm concerned about, I don't think it's going to happen, and I think the players are aware of it because Diggs talked about it in his not his post game press conference, his press conference in the locker room yesterday with reporters. He basically said, like next game against the Saints might be even tougher for us, like mentality. I know I'm paraphrasing here. Like it might be tougher for us mentality wise because you go into Buffalo Sunday night, big game, statement game. We'll be on the map if we win this one. You do it. And then, in the locker room, we're celebrating, we celebrate everyone, obviously, but we're celebrating like it's a signature win, like, because it was. And then you got to change your mindset to, all right, well, that game's out of the way. Let's get down to business. And, the Saints are an easy team to overlook. yes, they're bad, but they're better than I think people expected them to. And they're only 1-4, but they've been in all their games except that Seattle game. That was a disaster. But besides that game, they've been all in all their games, and they're easy to overlook. So, the team goes from big Sunday night win. Yep, now we get the shitty Saints. Hopefully, we can just go in there, take care of business, and win. Hopefully, we just don't overlook it, and just hope we can just simply ride the momentum wave into New Orleans and win. I'm a bit concerned about that, but I don't think it's going to happen. It seems like Vrabel has the Belichick mentality of we're going to prepare for every team the same way, regardless of how good or bad they are. So I'm not too concerned with that. And like I said, Diggs talked about it, so I'm sure the team is aware of that and they're preparing for the Saints just like any other team. But yeah, this was great win for us. I was so nervous this game. At one point, during the Borealis kick, I checked my heart rate after the game, my Apple Watch. So I did a workout early in the morning. I just did like a basic like a fast paced treadmill walk for like a mile, and my heart rate during the Borealis kick is like 150. It was much higher than it was during my cardio workout earlier that morning, which again, it was just a fast paced walk, but still, that oh boy, that is how nervous I was for that kick. Because if he had missed that kick, the Bills would have been at like our 45 yard line with like what 15 seconds left, and they had all three. No, they didn't have all three. No, they had no timeouts left, but still, um, just one quick shot, they get out of bounds, they're in field goal range, or they get a flag, something like that. So that was really clutch of Borealis. He's so far, knock on wood, redeemed himself since missing 3 extra points or 2 extra points in week 2, and then a field goal against the Raiders week 1. So good for Borealis. He's a bit nervous. We picked the wrong kicker between him and Romo, but so far outside of those couple hiccups, Borealis has been pretty good for us. 2 clutch kicks for us, technically game-winning kicks. Yeah, technically it was the game-winning kick week 2 because those are the last points put on the board, and obviously the game winner in this game. So yeah, I will end the video here. I'm gonna record. Excuse me, ears, I'm dying. I'm gonna record my week 5 recap video right after this. So be on the lookout for that if you're interested. And then I'm gonna right after that record my Thursday night football score prediction between the Eagles and Giants tonight. I like to record this and the recap video on Wednesday, but busy week, so I had to push it to today. But anyway, yeah, big takeaway. I feel like I said this in every Patriot recap video, but very optimistic after the win. I've been optimistic all year, and even after the losses. And, big win like this, how can you not be optimistic? Certainly some things to clean up, but we got the win against, arguably, the Bills, I imagine, are the betting favorite to win the Super. Either them or the Eagles, I imagine. So probably the Bills, because the odds makers always are in love with the Bills every year, which makes sense. But, going into Sunday night, football, prime time, biggest game in years, and we knock off the Super Bowl favorites. At least a Super Bowl favorite. So yeah, how can you not be optimistic after that? But yeah, I will end the video here. Very much looking forward to the Saints game this week. Hopefully we can get a nice ball win instead of another closed game. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in, and again, be on the lookout for the rest of my videos. I plan on uploading soon. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and take it easy, guys.